crowd because this crowd is not what you call a partisan hometown crowd. A lot of Italian folks out to see the Napoli team.
Definitely, Spencer, and I think the Cosmos are the away team in this particular game. As we look down the line of Cosmos officials, and here's the Napoli team. They've got a lot of ardent Napoli supporters in this part of the country, and they're all out here tonight.
And we just had a look a moment ago at the leading scorer for the team from Napoli, Claudio Pellegrini. He had 11 goals. He was third in league scoring in the Italian league. This Italian team from Napoli, they play very fine defense, but they do have the ability to put the ball into the back of the net. The crowd here now rises for national anthems. First, it will be the Italian national anthem, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner. Nancy Collier with the American national anthem, and Lino Vanelli singing the Italian national anthem. The starting lineup tonight, first for the team from Napoli, as we check them out before a good crowd here at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. In goal will be Luciano Castellini, who was Player of the Year in Italy during this past season. Back in defense, Giuseppe Bruciolati, number 2, Raimondo Marino, number 3, Paolo Benedetti, number 4, and Ruud Krol, number 5. In midfield, Moreno Ferrario, number 6, number 7, Giuseppe Damiani, and number 8, Claudio Benezzani. Up front, it'll be Claudio Pellegrini, number 9, the leading scorer for the Italian team, Antonio Crisamani, and Massimo Palanca. For the New York Cosmos, on defense, Ricky Davis, Jeff Durgan, Carlos Alberto, and Earhart Cap making a second start. Hubert Berkemeyer will be in goal. At midfield, J.C. Romero, Johan Naskins, and Bogi Bogicevic, while up front it'll be Steve Wegerle, Giorgio Canaglia, and Steve Hunt. The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Manuel Ortiz from Garland, Texas. The linesman, Bill Baumeister from Chatham, Ontario. Brooklyn, New York's Herman Collender is the other linesman, and the fourth official is Mike Sanders from Little Neck, New York. And there's our referee for tonight's game, Manuel Ortiz from Garland, Texas. And the linesman along the sidelines. The coach for the Napoli team is Reno Marchesi, who broke in. At least Giorgio Canaglia broke into professional football with Reno Marchesi with the Lazio team.
Did he? I didn't know that, Spencer, but an interesting sidelight.
So they know each other pretty well. Marchese was nearing the end of his illustrious career, while Giorgio is just getting started. The Cosmos in the white uniforms, Napoli of Italy in the light blue jerseys, as we're set for the opening kickoff. Bogicevic drops it back to Johan Neeskens, and the Cosmos have the ball. We're underway. J.C. Romero for New York, giving to Ricky Davis, back to Canaglia. This is Carlos Alberto, number 5. Cosmos controlling the ball. Romero getting it over to Canaglia. Canaglia having trouble with Pellegrini, but he gets around Pellegrini, makes a good move, gives it on the right side over to Romero. Romero to Ricky Davis. Davis inside, about 30 yards away, getting it over to Steve Wegerle. Ricky Davis chips it up into the air. Canaglia with a header, which sails wide. And it'll go over the line, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for Napoli.
The first thing we see, Spencer, is that the Cosmos did indeed, as Giorgio had mentioned, change their system from a 4-2-4 to a 4-3-3, giving them an extra man in midfield from the last few games that they've played.
It would be pretty tough. Giorgio Canaglia commenting, and you'll hear that at halftime, that it's kind of tough, particularly against this Italian team, to go that route. Down the right wing goes Giuseppe Damiani. Feeds it into the box. It's broken up by Carlos Alberto. Cosmos with the ball. Here's Erhard Kapp, number 26. He's in the lineup because of injuries to Boris Bandoff and Bob Yarushi, and the youngster who out of the University of Connecticut, who I believe you scouted, getting an opportunity.
Yes, and it's nice to see him out there. He's an excellent player, and what a young player like this really needs is exposure and the ability to get in there and show his stuff. And of course, no better opportunity than against a good team like Napoli.
Rudy Kroll saving that one as Steve Wegerle went for it for the Cosmos, and Napoli has the ball. This is Ruud Kroll, number 5, moving it forward for Napoli.
Of course, a lot of things on, a lot of pride on this game, as we know that this isn't a league game, and both teams really are looking to do well, because there is a lot of pride and bragging rights until next year on this tournament.
Paolo Benedetti feeding it ahead now. Napoli on the move, but taking a misstep was Massimo Palanca, number 11, and it's taken by Stevie Hunt.
Yeah, Palanca, as we noticed, got a little caught up in the AstroTurf. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that on the part of the Napoli team. They're not really used to playing on this kind of artificial surface.
Here's Bogicevic getting it over to Ricky Davis. We have played 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Davis chips it ahead now to Neeskens, gives it back into the corner to Wegerle. Wegerle being marked by Ruud Kroll, brings it back outside. Here's Stevie Hunt. Bogicevic to Canaglia. Giorgio trying to move around Ferrario, and Castellini holds on to it.
We saw Napoli, according to their style of play, as is with the Italian first division teams, they play a very defensive style of play. They put a lot of men in the back and then look to build up the game or look for a fast break. So we may see the Cosmos doing a lot more of the attacking than Napoli.
And there's really, it appears that they don't mark individually. They like to double team a lot up front.
Well, they play zone, and in most cases, and I think in these first few minutes they're going to try to feel out the Cosmos as well as the AstroTurf, and try to take it easy and exploit any weaknesses that they might see.
Benazzani losing control, and the Cosmos come up with a J.C. Romero ahead to Bogicevic, who chips it back into Romero's foot. Long ball ahead for Canaglia. Castellini comes out and plays it himself. 41-26 left in the first half, scoreless game, and Castellini boots at the length of the field, and the Napoli partisans roar their approval.
Yeah, the goalkeeper just wanted to get a little time there. He thought there was a bit of confusion in the defense on the coverage, and put the ball as far as he could to get them give them a chance to reorganize. Here's
Neeskens for the New York Cosmos to Jeff Durgan. Durgan giving ahead to Stevie Hunt. Erhard Kapp overlapping on the near side. Hunt now comes back, has trouble with Giuseppe Damiani, number 7. It comes to Neeskens. Damiani chases it now. Durgan comes up with it. Durgan has trouble with Palanca, and it's fed ahead for Pellegrini. Now to Damiani, number 7, who was hit in hard by Erhard Kapp. Play on, says the official. Not so, say the Napoli partisans. They thought that should have been a foul.
Well, Erhard did go for the ball, and the player was there, so it is not a foul if he does get a piece of the ball.
Here's J.C. Romero to Bogicevic. Chips it to Canaglia. Tries to move around Ferrario, and it is cleared out by Napoli.
The Cosmos really utilizing the defensive style of Napoli to a great advantage here, getting a lot of players open and really bringing the game to them.
They're controlling the ball. They're finding space. But when it gets that close, sometimes it is indeed difficult. Offside call on the New York Cosmos with 5 minutes gone by in this first half. Giorgio Canaglia right alongside of him, Ruud Krol.
Well, two very experienced international players that know both sides of this international game.
Krol back from London, where he played for Wembley last night. Here's Palanca. Alberto's right with him. Tries to cross. Birkenmeyer's there. Damiani tries to scissor kick it home, but it's cleared out by Cap. Hubert Birkenmeyer couldn't control the cross, and Damiani had an opportunity. Here's Paolo Benedetti to Pellegrini with a header which sails wide. So Napoli moving on the attack for the first time and showing they can formulate some offense.
Well, you won't see that happen very often on the part of Birkenmeyer. He's usually very steady on those crosses.
Spencer Ross and Werner Roth back here at Giant Stadium, the third annual Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup. The New York Cosmos going against Napoli of Italy here in game number 1. And this is Antonio Crisimani feeding it ahead on the left side to Palanca. Palanca, good right foot shot, great velocity, but way high over the net. But Massimo Palanca fired that one.
Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of that. One thing, if there is a difference between NASL and international teams, is that every player on that Napoli team has the ability to dribble a defender and to take a shot on goal. So everybody has to be watched very carefully.
Here's Stevie Hunt for the New York Cosmos, making a good move on Brusolati. And an easy save here for Castellini. Giving it to Ruud Krol, number 5.
He's their outlet man in the back. They start building it up, and generally Ruud Krol is the player the ball goes to.
Good ball to Brusolati, who overlaps, gives it over to Palanca, number 11. Massimo Palanca trying to feed it back into the box. It is knocked away, chased down by Vinazzani, and it comes back out toward midfield to Antonio Crisimani, number 10. Crisimani now moves in, dribbling beautifully. Left foot shot sails wide. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the New York Cosmos.
Now you see some of the attacks, Spencer, are coming already. They're coming from more the midfield and the defense as opposed to the forward line, and you'll be seeing a lot of that. Napoli generally sticks close together. All 10 men on the field try to play very close together. They don't spread the game out too much, and they attack as a team and they defend as a team.
Here's Steve Wegerle for the New York Cosmos, getting it back to J.C. Romero. The return, Wegerle was going the wrong way. Raimondo Marino feeds it ahead now to Palanca. Palanca coming in, Durgan chasing, fired, save, Hubert Birkenmeyer, and a beauty.
Good save by Hubert there. Powerful shot by Palanca, who was not covered. Took Jeff Durgan one-on-one, found himself some space and fired.
So Palanca getting some space on that left wing. That's the second time he's come down like that, Werner.
Yes, Ricky Davis tended to be caught up on that particular play, and if there's anything this Napoli team will do, they will take advantage of any mistakes that are made. If you look at the back four of the Cosmos, you've got 3 young American players and the old horse of the team, Carlos Alberto. It'll be an interesting combination.
Here's Stevie Hunt now for New York. 35-40 left first half, scoreless game. Jeff Durgan feeds it ahead now to Naskin. Chips it into the box, but it is cleared out by Napoli. Taken now by Ricky Davis to Romero. The chip ahead. Ruud Krol gets his head on it, and it comes over to Giuseppe Brusolati.
Now, Ruud Krol is playing the same position with Napoli that Carlos Alberto is playing with the Cosmos, a sweeper behind the defense. And you can keep an eye on him to move up when the opportunity presents itself.
35 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half. Scoreless game. Here's Carlos Alberto for New York to Bogicevic. Ricky Davis to Steve Wegerle. Good crowd on hand. They're still coming in here to Giant Stadium. The chip intended for Wegerle. Ruud Krol plays it very alertly. Drops it back to his goalkeeper. Like I said, that's what makes a world-class player, the ability to react that quick.
It certainly does, and to react quickly and to make those motions on a dime. And you notice Giorgio, he took a chance and tried to read that play, but he was just a little bit late.
Here's Crisimani getting it over to Vinazzani, number 8. Crisimani coming in, fired wide, had a great opportunity to beat Hubert Birkenmeyer, and he fired it wide, and we remain scoreless for our local systems. Let's pause now. You're watching the Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup on the USA Cable Network. Big opportunity right there for the team from Napoli, but the shot sailing wide.
You'll notice, Spencer, the last out of the last 4 attacks, 3 of them have come up on Napoli's left side. They've obviously found some kind of a defect on the Cosmos defense there. It's Ricky Davis's positions, and they're trying to take advantage of it.
Here's Wegerle feeding it into the box, and Ruud Krol just chips it back to his goalkeeper, Luciano Castellini. Castellini really hasn't had much to work at this evening.
Not at all. The game has been in his third of the field, but the Cosmos haven't been able to get a shot on goal yet.
Here's Paolo Benedetti, number 4. Benedetti giving it on the right side of it. Giuseppe Brussolati. His chip into the box, cleared out by Durgan, but it comes over to Benedetti. He tries to put it forward, and Ricky Davis got his foot on it and put it over the line. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Napoli. The throw-in for Napoli, scoreless game, and that'll go as a foul against J.C. Romero for tripping up Paolo Benedetti, number 4. Benedetti, a 21-year-old. It's a pretty young team they have, this Napoli club.
They have a nice combination. They've got a couple of older, well-established players and some great young ones.
Hubert Birkenmeyer very alertly coming across from that header by Giuseppe Damiani, number 7. And the Cosmos have the ball. As you said, Werner, the play has been basically in the Napoli end, but yet they've come up with the best chances.
Well, you can see that they're playing more of a system here. They're playing a certain style. They know exactly what they're doing. They're attacking when they want to attack, and they're defending with 8 or 9 players when they're not in possession of the ball.
We've got 32 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half of play. We are still scoreless. The Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup. Happy you can be with us here in the USA Cable Network. Tomorrow night, it's Nacional of Uruguay against the Chicago Sting, and you'll see it right here on USA.
You'll notice Napoli playing a great deal into space. They're playing very deliberate soccer. As we see a header by J.C. Romero going way wide, but they're playing very deliberate. They know where their players are going to be, and of course this comes from years of playing together and the experience of teamwork.
Julio Cesar Romero, back in the Cosmos lineup, had some injuries last year, and tough to break back into this Cosmo lineup once you're out.
Well, there's so much depth here, Spencer, especially this year, and that once you are out on the disabled list, it's twice as hard to come back and get your original spot back. You see a ball, a little chip shot. Napoli forward thinking that Birkenmeyer was off his line, and he was, and just put it a little bit high over the goal. These players are dangerous from any position.
This telecast presented by authority of the North American Soccer League, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this match without the express written consent of the North American Soccer League is prohibited. Spencer Ross and Werner Roth with you here at Giant Stadium. 30 minutes, 55 seconds left in the first half. Scoreless game, Cosmos and Napoli, and this is Johan Neeskens, number 13 for New York, to Carlos Alberto.
Now, of course, Neeskens has a teammate, really an old teammate in Rudy Krol. They both played together on the Holland national team in 74 and 78.
There was Neeskens expecting Erhard Kapp to come forward. And Kapp was not moving forward, so it'll be a throw-in coming up here for Napoli.
We talked before a little bit about players getting to know each other, and of course with a number of the injuries that the Cosmos had during the beginning part of the season, it's hard for the players with the team continuously changing to really become acquainted with their style of play.
Here's Crisomani, number 10, tries the chip intended for Pellegrini, and it's called a handball on the Cosmos. So it'll be a free kick coming up here. There's a youthful Cosmo fan checking the scoreboard.
This is a very dangerous position to have Napoli take a free kick from. We see Levin Palanca, who's been really the dangerous forward for most of this first half.
Pellegrini has been their leading scorer, as we mentioned, 11 goals during the regular Italian season. And here is Palanca, and it is blocked right out front by the Cosmos. So a throw-in coming up here for Napoli. This is Ruud Krol, number 5. 29 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first half. We're still scoreless.
You notice the waiting game that they tend to play. They bring the ball back and forth across the defense side. They're really not in any hurry. They're waiting till they get their players into position so that they can do what they want to do.
Here's their hard cap. Moving it ahead now to Stevie Hunt. Bad ball by Hunt. Taken back. Comes over to Palanca. Trying to feed Pellegrini. Knocked away by the Cosmos. And Bogicevic comes up with a bad ball by Bogi. And this is Claudio Vinizzani, number 8. Pellegrini and Hubert Birkenmeyer's right there.
I see Pellegrini and Palanca really creating a bit of confusion in that forward line by changing positions. Pellegrini going out to the left wing, and Jeff Durgan and Ricky Davis not really exchanging the coverage as they should.
We've seen Palanca go there often. That time Pellegrini took his shot at it. Steve Hunt feeding it into the box, knocked away, and here comes Ruud Krol now. Krol has Palanca on the right. Damiani trailing the play. Palanca fires it wide, and we'll get a goal kick coming up for the New York Cosmos. 28:04 left in the first half of play. We're still scoreless, the Cosmos and Napoli. We'll get right back. Paolo Benedetti gets it to Damiani, and right out in front it came once again to Palanca, and Jeff Durgan saves the day. But once again, the Cosmos with difficulty getting back on defense.
They're having some trouble with their defensive coverage here. Napoli players running free, and it's actually Erhard Kapp that came in and saved the day there. Spencer with a sliding volley of the ball over the net, and a very heads-up play by the young rookie.
So here's the corner kick coming up for Napoli. And the header sails wide by Giuseppe Brussolati. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Cosmos. It has been all Napoli.
It seems that the movement created by the forwards, the 2 and 3 forwards Napoli has attacking, is creating some problems in the Cosmos defense.
Carlos Alberto put it up in the air, but Damiani was there. And once again, Erhard Kapp came over to help things out. Down to the final game of the Major Indoor Soccer League Championship Series. The defending title holders, the New York Arrows, battling it out with last year's runner-ups, the St. Louis Steamers. The series tied at 2 games apiece. Join Al Troutwig and Kyle Rowe Jr. from the Nassau Coliseum for the final game of the MISL Championship Series. It comes up right after this Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup match here at Giant Stadium, and it promises to be a beauty. So you join Al and Kyle. Here's Brussolati now. To Pellegrini, number 9. The thing is, they seem to move 3 forwards up and send a couple of midfielders or a defender up also, and it is tough to defend 5 people against with only 3 or 4.
Yes, and they're trying to really do that. They're trying to get numerical superiority in all parts of the field. You'll notice even in the middle aspects of the field, they're trying to get more Napoli players than Cosmos players all around the ball.
And they kind of lull you also and say, come forward because we'll give you a chance to get close to our goal.
Exactly, and here they are.
Giorgio, and the save by Castellini.
Castellini showing his stuff that won him Italian Player of the Year on almost a point-blank shot by Giorgio. Beautiful ball, pushed right to Giorgio into space, and he tries to fire it. Castellini reacts quickly and makes the save. Anywhere else, and it would have been a very difficult ball to save for the goalkeeper.
Good shot by Giorgio Canaglia. Good save by Luciano Castellini. And we remain scoreless with 24 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Down goes Palanca. No foul play on, says the referee. Steve Wegerle for New York. To Carlos Alberto. Alberto chips for Giorgio. Giorgio trying to move in on Ferrario. And Ferrario is the last one to touch it, number 6. And it'll be a corner for the Cosmos. They put it into play quickly. Canaglia. Giorgio fires it high and wide. And it'll be a goal kick coming up here for Napoli.
The Cosmos getting a little bit back into the game a little bit here. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that'll fire them up. If they see that they can create some chances in that forward line, in that solid Napoli defense. They're going to try more different things, and it's going to turn into an attacking game after all.
Jeff Durgan for the Cosmos to Romero. Romero having trouble with Palanca, number 11. And this is Bogicevic.
Now you'll notice even on defense there, Napoli has 4 players right around the ball.
So they kind of swing out like a fan.
They cover
with it.
Exactly. They cover for each other, and there's always someone. If you beat one player, there's always another one behind it.
Here's Carlos Alberto for New York to Bogicevic. This is Romero, some 40 yards away from the goal. NASL still has that 35-yard stripe. It's a broken line now. Doesn't have anything to do with the offsides, but in shootouts, that's where you start from. Romero, great move. Comes in and finally loses control. J.C. Romero with a great individual effort.
Some beautiful footwork there. He went around 3 Napoli defenders, just couldn't find the handle when he was in position to shoot.
Throw-in coming up for the Cosmos. And the crowd is loving it. We hope you're loving it at home. And we've got more Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup action coming up for you tomorrow night. Romero taken down. And this is Giuseppe Brussolati.
Romero is the type of player, Spencer, that can really turn an offense on. He's playing midfield, but he has the ability to take players on and to create goal-scoring opportunities and also to score goals himself.
Scoreless game thus far, 21:50 remaining in the first half. Moving forward is Antonio Crisamani, number 10. Crisamani's pass is knocked down by Bogicevic, but Crisamani still has it. Gives to Vinazzani, back to Crisamani, and an easy save there as Carlos Alberto deflected the ball for Birkenmeyer. Here's Romero, right wing to Steve Wegerle. Romero being chased now by Paolo Benedetti, number 4. Romero wins the ball. And a foul on Benedetti.
Romero, because of his physique, he's about 5'7", 155 pounds. They think they can push him off the ball easy.
There's Giorgio! Once again an opportunity, and he fired it wide. And we'll get a goal kick coming up here for the Napoli team. We'll pause now for our local systems. You're watching the Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup. Giorgio taking another nice feed before this big crowd here at Giants Stadium, and Canaglia just being led perfectly.
Well, Napoli certainly knows Giorgio, and they know they need to stay on top of him, as we see Ferrario really staying as close as possible, but Giorgio is the type of player with almost a limited amount of space. He's able to turn on the ball and get a shot off.
Back live here at Giants Stadium, the Cosmos with the ball. Stevie Hunt getting it over to Erhard Kapp. With 20 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first half. We're still scoreless. Johan Naskins for New York to Carlos Alberto. This is Romero. Bad ball by Romero, knocked away by Palanca. The chase is on. Vinazzani, number 8, and Romero, number 7 for the Cosmos. They get their legs tangled. Cosmos have the ball. Spencer Ross and Werner Roth with you here at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It'll be a corner kick coming up for New York as Erhard Kapp's cross was hit over the line by Brussolati. Wegerle puts it into play.
And he puts it in very quickly. They're trying to take advantage of the defensive style of Napoli to get as many attacks going as possible.
Here's Naskins, and it's cleared out nicely by Vinazzani. But it comes over to Erhard Kapp of New York. To Jeff Durgan. That's Stevie Hunt playing on his off wing now to Bogicevic. Tries to return to Hunt, and it's broken up and taken away by Antonio Crisamani, number 10. Long ball intended for Palanca, and an offside call on Napoli.
You see the quick counterattack that they try to pull here. They pull everybody back, maybe 1 or 2 forwards up front, and if they have the opportunity, they'll get you every time with it.
Steve Wegerle stopped by a nice sliding tackle by Giuseppe Damiani, number 7. Feeds long ball to Pellegrini. He's got an opportunity, but an easy save for Hubert Birkenmeyer. That counterattack once again as we look at Claudio Pellegrini, number 9, leading scorer for the team from Napoli.
A great run there by Pellegrini. You know, they know exactly what they're going to be doing. So the winger, Damiani, knew exactly that Pellegrini or another player was going to run into the far corner into space, and exactly what happens. Jeff Durgan and Carlos Alberto both have to keep an eye on that.
Here's Romero. We have had far from a just defensive effort by this Italian team. We've had exciting soccer through the first 27 minutes.
They've been defending when they needed to and attacking when the opportunity presented itself, Spencer, just the way you're supposed to play this game.
Attacking very well, but nothing on the board yet. Long ball headed up into the air. Carlos Alberto gets his head on it and kicks it over to Erhard Cap. And the Cosmos on the move now. Cap long balling it to J.C. Romero, number 7. 17:40 left in the half. Cosmos nothing, Napoli nothing. Here's Bogicevic.
Bogey's looking for someone to run into space.
This is Canaglia. And Canaglia lost it to Paolo Benedetti. Here's a good ball to Damiani. Damiani is outside, coming in. Saving the day was Ricky Davis, who came forward. Damiani upset, I think, at the AstroTurf. There's Hubert Birkenmeier. At least Damiani wishes to blame it on Singh.
Yeah, he was blaming it on something. He really had a nice ball. The referee blew him onside. It wasn't off. The Cosmos defense, again, a little bit shaky. He was all alone on Birkenmeier and just couldn't do a right thing with it. And it may have been the AstroTurf.
Here's Wegerle dropping it back. Comes over to Johan Naskins with 16:50 left in the half. Steve Hunt. All Hunt's done in his 3 games since rejoining the Cosmos has scored 2 goals and had 4 assists. What an addition.
Here we see the ball into space. Damiani all by himself. Ricky Davis, the only player coming, and he really just shanked the ball. Couldn't get much on it at all, and he seems to be saying, where's the grass that I'm used to playing on?
Back live now. Cosmos in control of the ball. A scoreless game. Bogicevic goes high into the air to drop it to Romero, who gives on the near side now to Erhard Cap, number 26.
Erhard Cap's been playing very steady on this side here, defensively and offensively.
Bogicevic tried to flip it into the box, and it's taken away by Claudio Pellegrini. This is Chris Amani, number 10. Damiani. Giuseppe Damiani, 31-year-old forward. Good move on Cap. Tries to cross, and Hubert is there. What they call it, I think they're going to call it a corner kick. Hubert came down with the ball, then stepped over the line. And it'll be a corner kick coming up for Napoli.
Well, it's of course all right to step over the line as long as you don't take the ball with you, as long as the ball is in play. But the linesman and the referee decided that Hubert had taken the ball across the end line.
So Palanca, Massimo Palanca, number 11, will try the corner kick for Napoli. Out in front, Birkenmeier was there, so was Pellegrini. And it'll be another corner kick. Close call for the Cosmos.
You know, I was watching Pellegrini on that play because he is their leading goal scorer, and that'll be the player they're looking for. And there was, as we looked at the corner, and there was no one covering Pellegrini at all. And that really is, as we see here, he's totally by himself. Durgan a good 5 yards away from him.
Back live, the next corner kick comes out. Durgan knocks it back. The shot on goal sails wide by Raimondo Marino. So we're still scoreless with 14:35 left in the first half, and we'll get back right after this. Back here at Giant Stadium, and once again the Napoli team coming mighty close on a beautiful chip forward that comes over to Giuseppe Damiani.
You can see the defenders and the attack really coming from the defense out of the midfield, and that's where they're catching the Cosmos off guard as we see Damiani fire one that Birkenmeier just was able to get to and deflect back into the playing field.
So back live we are, and once again the Cosmos come up with a big save by Hubert Birkenmeier, and we remain scoreless. But the big scoring opportunities have come by Napoli, except for one, and a good one by Giorgio Canaglia. Here's Canaglia, knocked away. Pinazani goes for it, number 8, and it's headed forward by Giuseppe Brussolati, number 2. Palanca keeps it in play nicely. This is Pellegrini. Claudio Pellegrini with the cross. The header, Birkenmeyer is there for the save.
Beautiful combination there again, and they're playing a very simple attacking game. They're pulling the fullbacks towards the midfield, and then they're using that space behind the fullback that they've just created to run into and to create attacking opportunities. And it's something that they're doing very well.
And that was one of the fullbacks, Giuseppe Brussolati. Here's Pellegrini with a good move, and Jeff Durgan comes over to cut him off. And Birkenmeyer will put it into play with 12 minutes even remaining in the first half. Hubert Birkenmeyer, what a season he has had for the New York Cosmos.
He's made a couple of fantastic saves almost every game throughout the season, and has really been their steady man in the defense.
And what a gentleman. Super player and a wonderful human being. Here's Naiskin to Bogicevic. And Bogey thought a foul should have been called.
An offside there, a good defensive play by Ricky Davis and Carlos Alberto. That's one possibility that they have in defending against this kind of an attack, is to try to keep an eye on who's running into space and try to play them offsides. But that can be dangerous sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Because all of a sudden you have one man going on one or one on nothing, and your goalkeeper's at their mercy. Here's Steve Hunt. He cannot control. Pellegrini takes it away, and a long ball to Palanca. And Palanca's given the Cosmos fits tonight from that left wing. Good feed to Pellegrini. Hopped over his foot, but he'll play it as Damiani on the right. Pellegrini fires wide. Oh, did not do much with it. Just very kind of nonchalantly fired at about 80 miles an hour.
Well, he's got that powerful right foot, and if he sees a corner open, he's going to try and go for it.
There he is, number 9, Claudio Pellegrini, the leading scorer for this team from Napoli.
Here we see Carlos Alberto just sort of hanging out. Pellegrini taking the opportunity of the space and taking a shot on goal and seeing what happens.
10 minutes, 15 seconds left in the first half of play. Crisamani, number 10, try to feed it ahead to Palanca, but it's broken up by the Cosmos. Here's Steve Hunt. Canaglia went down off your camera. He gets back up. Stevie Hunt drops it back to Wegerle. This is Hunt, number 17. It went right through Paolo Benedetti, and fortunately, Luciano Castellini remained alert.
Now again, we might have seen there a mistake that happened because of the AstroTurf and the playing conditions, because these players wouldn't necessarily be doing that. Here we see Steve Hunt putting the ball into the middle, and number 4 really fanning totally, and Bogey could not believe that it actually got past him.
Here's Palanca as we come back live. Palanca left foots it. Hubert Birkenmeyer there for the easy save and distributes it out nicely to Steve Hunt.
That was the second time Palanca just sort of tried to swerve that ball into the upper left-hand corner without really taking a hard shot at it, but just sort of trying to place it.
Cosmos have kind of controlled the midfield area, setting up from here and moving in, but it's been Napoli with a super counterattack. Anytime the Cosmos come close like this, Napoli's ready to snap back and move forward.
Well, they have the Cosmos outnumbered in the defense, and they bring their men back behind the ball as soon as they lose possession of it, and they just attack from a very strong position that way.
Here's Brussolati giving the Damiani, bad ball by him, stolen away by J.C. Romero of the Cosmos to Bogicevic. This is Erhard Kapp. 8:25 left in the half. We're still scoreless.
If you'll notice, Spencer, the Cosmos buildup is nowhere near as quick, and the players that are off the ball aren't coming upfield as quickly as the Napoli players are.
Here's Bogicevic. Naiskin. Bogey chases it down. Out to Steve Hunt, and a good ball. Hunt tried to move around Kroll. Naiskin fires high. So at 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half, we're still scoreless for our local system. We'll pause now. You're watching the Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup on the USA Network. Johan Neskens coming mighty close right there with a good right foot shot, but we still remain scoreless here at Giant Stadium. Most of the opportunities in this first half coming by the blue shirts, the team from Napoli. Bogey to Canaglia, tries to backheel it to Bogey. And we got a foul. And here's, watch Johan Neskens tee this one up.
A beautiful right footer that was going right for the upper left-hand corner, a little bit high. Now this is a good opportunity for Giorgio Canaglia to show his stuff. As we said before, these players know what kind of a shot he has, so they're going to try to put up that wall, so you can see, to give as little of that goal for him to shoot at as possible.
There's Canaglia, shot at Castellini with a good save. Spencer Ross and Werner Roth back here at Giant Stadium as we look at Luciano Castellini, the great goalkeeper for the team from Napoli, and watch him right here when we were away.
Giorgio getting well behind that ball and next to the wall, looking for that long corner that was really covered by the wall.
Castellini kind of hesitated also.
He hesitated. I think he was blocked by one of the players that was covering that play, one of his own defensive players.
Castellini, the #1 player in all of Italy this past year, one of 4 members of this team from Napoli, selected to the top 11 in Italy. Marino Ferrario is one of them, Ruud Krol another, and Giuseppe Brussolati, #2, is the 4th.
So you really have a good representation of one of the best that the Italian league can offer as far as the team's concerned. And it's interesting to see how the style's different, really how the level of play is different or really similar. You hear a lot of European fans, European soccer fans in America, really saying that NASL soccer is not up to par and up to standard of European or South American soccer, but all of the experiences of the past that the Cosmos have had have been very successful with international teams.
Well, right here they are scoreless. Remember, this team from Napoli, despite finishing 4th in the Italian league, they had 4 of the top 11 players in the league. That's incredible.
Yes, that's having the corner on some of the best players in that league.
And it is a fine league indeed. Here's Carlos Alberto for New York with 5 minutes left in the first half of play. Ricky Davis chips it forward. It's headed back by Marino Ferrario, one of the players I mentioned, #6, who is one of the top 11 in Italy. This is Antonio Crisimani, #10. Palanca, good ball, but knocked back by Carlos Alberto. And Bo Gisevic feeds it ahead now to Stevie Hunt, who's chased by Brussolati, #2. Comes to Canaglia. Gives to Romero. That's Wegerle on the right wing. Wegerle tripped up himself. And it comes back to Alberto.
Wegerle also seemed to have a little problem with the AstroTurf, but he should be used to it by this time.
Played in a lot of it. And moving on quickly is Vinazzani, but a bad ball stolen away by Erhard Kapp of the Cosmos. 3:55 left in the first half of play. Still scoreless as Canaglia goes up into the air with Ferrario and gets his head on it, but an easy save for Castellini.
So the Cosmos have really stayed in this game very well, even though Napoli has had a great part of the attack and has brought a lot of people back to defend. The Cosmos did create some chances, and they're still in this game.
Here's Ruud Krol, #5, to Palanca. Back to Krol. Patience of a international superstar.
And you really need to have it in this kind of a game, Spencer. You've got to be able to wait. As we see a shot going way over the goal, you need to be able to wait and take the opportunities as they come, because very often with high-level soccer, as we see, who's this coming into the game here for the Cosmos?
That is the Cosmos mascot.
You need to be able to wait until your opportunities present themselves and then take advantage of it. And really, that's where the world-class teams do well. They have the ability to maintain possession and take advantage of opportunities.
Cosmos mascot, of course, do I have to tell folks that his name is Bugs Bunny? That is, of course, his name. I understand the reason you left the Cosmos is you wanted Warner Communications to change your name to Werner Communications, and you couldn't come to terms.
That's only a rumor.
Here's Brusolati ahead to Damiani, number 7. Damiani, a good ball. Brusolati had to wait for it, though, to Palanca. Palanca, number 11. That's Brusolati once again. A good move by Chris Samani, number 10. And an offside. Offside. Cosmos baited the trap right there, and they drew Pellegrini offside.
Pellegrini was standing offsides for about 30 seconds there. I'm amazed that he didn't notice the situation and come onside.
A minute 50 left in the half as Steve Wegerle chases for New York. Over the line it goes. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Napoli. Right near our USA banner hanging here at Giant Stadium. A scoreless game, both teams with opportunities. Napoli having most of them, though. The big one for the Cosmos, Giorgio Canaglia with a rifle right foot shot that Castellini made an excellent save on. Palanca came in on one occasion for Napoli, and so did Pellegrini. Here's Benedetti. To Pellegrini, number 9. Knocked away by Naskins and fed ahead to Steve Hunt, but Brusolati is there, number 2. Brusolati gets the good wall pass, doubles it right between Ogusevic's legs, and an easy save for Birkenmeyer with 55 seconds remaining in the first half of play. We are still scoreless here at Giant Stadium.
That's the play that we just saw before that Napoli's been very successful with in the first part of this game that they haven't been using, and that's the overlapping and attacking from defensive positions.
Here's Brusolati. He long balls it intended for Damiani. Ricky Davis, though, is there with 30 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Scoreless game, the Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup, and the man who will put it all together will be our guest in between this first and second half, the North American Soccer League Commissioner, Phil Woosnam. Here's Stevie Hunt getting behind Brusolati with 12 seconds left in the half. It comes over to Marino. Marino losing control, and the ball tipped over the line. Marino the last to touch with 3 seconds remaining in the first half. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Napoli, and that should do it for the first half of play. Clock ticks down the final seconds as it comes over to Crisamani, and there is the whistle, ending the first half of play. An auspicious start to the Trans-Atlantic Challenge Cup, and we've got so much more coming away in this exciting series between the Cosmos, Chicago Sting, Nacional of Uruguay, and Napoli of Italy. Scoreless at the end of the first half of play. The Cosmos and Napoli will return right after these words.